I'm very happy now to introduce Elise Spiegel, who will be speaking about innovative multi-methods for the safe handling of biocide contaminated objects, the MUSA-project. Thank you, Elise.
Thank you very much for the introduction. And at the beginning, one question, you see the right screen, hopefully? Okay, perfect. So please apologize, my English, it's maybe a little bit rusty, but I give my very best today. So yeah, about my person, I'm the founder for Care for Art. We are specialized in advising museums on prevention of pollution and occupational health and safety. We look at hazards and risk potential of contamination in museums. And one of our main focus are biocides. And our goal is always sustainable and safe handling of contaminated collection materials in these cultural institutes. So in my presentation today, I will talk about our new projects. It's called MUSA, Innovative Multi-Methods for Safe Handling of Biocides Contaminated Objects. That is founded by the Deutsche Bundesstiftung Umwelt, DBU, and it just started this June 2022. So to make sure that in future you will not only associate PowerPoint slides with our project, but perhaps also the people behind it, I allowed myself to insert a picture of our team. And you see the logos of the involved companies as well. It's the Institute of Clinical for Occupational, Social and Environmental Medicine. It's Care for Art and Escora. And we are advised in this MUSA project by the Municipal Accident Insurance Bavaria, by the Federal Institute for Risk Management, and the Museum of Natural History in Berlin. And on the next slide, you see this a little bit more detailed. And I'm happy. Yeah, you see the colleagues from the University of Munich, and I'm happy that Katharina Dehring is with us today as well. Then you see Care for Art and me as well, and Caroline Wibbe from Escora. So let's start. Many museum collection archives are contaminated with toxic substances, including biocides such as lindan, DDT, and PCP as a result of previous conservation treatments due to material intrinsic substances of the objects. In need of for occupational health action, we heard this already, results from the historical use of carcinogenic, mutagenic, and reproductive toxic, this is really a tongue teaser, compounds such as arsenic, mercury, and as well organochlorine pesticides. These historic preservation measures pose a potential health hazard to employees and visitors. So the problem in a nutshell, to ensure an adequate protection of the employees, comprehensive and requiring ambient monitoring is necessary in these institutions. But investigations with the previous established analytic methods are very time consuming and cost intensive, as you all know, experts, and have therefore not become sufficiently established in museum institutes. So to overcome this unsatisfactory situation, our goal in the MUSA-project is the simplification of environmental monitoring in institutions with contaminated objects. So the idea of the project is to improve prevention by simplifying environmental monitoring as the development of low-cost sampling methods. The MUSA test kit can enable monitoring even for small and medium-sized museums, archives, libraries, as well as maybe private collections. And the MUSA training program supports the target group in a safe handling of contaminated collection materials and actively promotes prevention measures. As a first step, systematic review, which will include papers published in peer-reviewed journals as well as so-called grey literature, will be done to assess the status quo of biocide exposure in museum institutions in Germany. The research results are collected, proceed and evaluate it in a database and may be available digital on a dashboard with access via the internet. Objective 2 is to develop the development of innovative methods for ambient monitoring in contaminated collection to enable comprehensive and cost-effective hazard identification and assessment. Based on our previous projects, the selection of biocide for method development will focus on arsenic, mercury, but also toxic metals as lead and chromium as presentative, as toxic metals, and as well PCP, lindan, DDT, and DDE. Objective 3 focuses method implementation in a total of 10 selected model institutions for the initial assessment of the risk potential and to realize significant statistic analysis. Derivation of a non-innovative cross-institution traffic light system for benchmarking as an incentive to reduce biocides exposure and consequently the health risk of employees. Integration of the MUSA data into a web-based IT system solution app that provides user a direct access and visualization of the key informations of the ambient monitoring. So the chart shows the integration of the German model institutions into our MUSA-project. On the very low field here, the development of field tests will take place in one institution, then the validation will be integrated 3 further institutions, and the implementation phase is planned in a total of 10 selected model institutions during the project. So how do we imagine the MUSA system? Here you see something like a process flow of MUSA system. You will have a registration platform for the institution. Then you can, if you're a registered user, you can order a MUSA test kit. It will be hopefully delivered in a short time. Then you're doing the collection by simplified sampling performed by your staff. And we will support this with on our homepage and with videos and so on. Then you return the test kit and it will be analyzed in our laboratory. And at the end, the report is you can get via online access on the website. You can download the report and the ranking, and you can see there a ranking benchmarking with the traffic light system we would like to establish. Here you see the output of the MUSA-project. By systematically recording relevant hazard substances in museums, monuments, collection, and archives, and through barrier-free access by providing a hazardous material database. So this is the base of the project, and then we call it like centerpiece, Herzstück in Germany, by systematically recording relevant hazard substances. Through the MUSA test kit for simplified and standalone sampling, and the result notification after laboratory analysis will be done via the app through a dashboard. It provides the target group with quick and easy access to all relevant informations. So, and I'll hand over to this. It's many thanks to all my colleagues and to all participating museum partners as Bayerisches Museum Ingolstadt, Bayerische Verwaltung Staatliche Schlösser und Seen, Museum 5 Kontinente, staatliche Archive, so we have archives as well, and Staatliche Naturwissenschaftliche Sammlung Bayern. I have quite a lot of museums involved there, and Zentrum für Trachtengewand in Benediktbeuren. And this was just our kickoff meeting in summer. So thanks a lot for your attention and welcome for questions.
Thank you so much, Elise. What a fantastic and really exciting model for the service that you're providing for cultural heritage institutions. Do we have any questions for Elise? I have one to start off while everyone's thinking. Oh, sorry, Rosie. I didn't realize you had yours raised. Go ahead, and then I'll ask mine.
I didn't, I was clapping.
Oh, okay. So I'm very interested in the test kits, and I'm wondering, is the goal to have these to have the sort of sampling that you would do for the test kits? Is your goal for that to be sampling that anyone could do, even, you know, someone without any special conservation training or chemical safety training or that sort of thing? Could you just tell us a little bit more about those test kits?
Sure, thanks a lot, Melissa, for this question. Yes, it is. Actually, it's of course it's mainly for museums and archives. That's what we're looking for, the biocides there. But it should be safe for everybody to use this, and it will be a box with a different types of passive sampling. So actually, now if we're going into museums and we trying to detect the biocides, we often use dust as a first sample because it's a very good passive sampler. But with this test kit, we will combine different passive sampling methods that are quick and easy to use. But it's part of the research project, so it's open-minded right now. We have first pre-tests made, and that look very good. But we just started this summer, so there's quite a lot of things to do.
Sure, absolutely. We have a question in the chat from Jess Ortegon. Elise, love that you're working to have access to different types of institutions. Do you see this program becoming available internationally?
Hopefully, yes. Thanks for this question. So we are now focused to Germany because we are founded by the Deutsche Bundesstiftung, so that's a German institution, and we will start here, and especially we will start in Bavaria, just to have a focus on spending all the money for analytics and research, and not for traveling around. But hopefully maybe in a year or so we will be much further with our work, and it's planned to do this international as well.
Fantastic, thank you. Laura, did you have a question?
Yeah, hi, this is great. It's really great to see the work that you're doing. And it's nice to see that it's also funded by the Research Council.
I can't hear you, Laura.
No? Okay. You can't hear me at all?
I can hear her. Can you hear me, Elise?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay.
Is this better?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I'll try with this. Yeah, it's great to see the work that you're doing. It's nice to see that it's funded by the German Research Council as well. I had two questions actually. The first is, what is the timeline for your project? When do you expect to have these different stages, or hope to have them completed? And the second question is, yeah, I mean, because we worked with one of these private companies that I think is partly based in Germany, ICM, and they did the analysis for us, but of course the cost is quite high, so I don't think it's very accessible to small organizations, even though they do, the whole idea is for them to work with heritage organizations. So I was wondering if the analysis would be free of charge, or if it would be subsidized by the government, or how it would work?
So thanks a lot for the question. For the first, the project is going on for 3 years. And actually now I can't tell you every stage, but hopefully we have first test kits for the participating museums within 1.5 years. And then, yeah, it's going on further and further. And of course, I mean, that's one of the reasons that it's very expensive, and a lot of museums are not able to spend money, or yeah, let's endly to spend money for that. So our goal is to have this yeah, much more cheap. So don't bother me by coming up with numbers, but it should be about 150 euros to do a test kit like that, hopefully. And I think one of the main benefits is that you have all in one. So you have the test kit and the result, and then you have a visualization, and that's, I think, is a really big advantage for museums.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Tim?
Yeah, in Canada, here with my work, there's a sense of defeatism that you cannot test every object, obviously, and because an institution often has a very large collection, even maybe over several million objects, what do you say? Like, how much is gained by testing 1 or even 100 objects, or even one shelf or one drawer of many drawers and cabinets of objects? Like, yeah, I struggle to answer it myself.
Okay, so, Timothy, thanks a lot for that question. So actually, the MUSA test kit system is not focused on objects. So it's for working spaces, more or less. So you will collect the biocides or hazard substances at your working place, like whip samples or dust fall collector or passive sampling via air. So this is in the focus of the project, not the every single object.
Thank you. Andrea?
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for this talk. I was wondering, in this phase of the research project, does an institution apply with you, or do you say, I start with Bavaria and then I go to Baden-Württemberg, and you go through the counties, or what is the way of institutional feeding?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Andrea, for this question. Actually, we started, we had the idea with my colleagues, we had the idea what to do, and we said, okay, we want to spend most of the money, as I said already, for research and working, and not for traveling. So we said we want to start in Bavaria, and there we asked single institutions where we knew that they had a problem, or still having a problem, with biocides. So for the first, and now we're and you will find this on our MUSA-project homepage if you're interested. So in later status of the project, we would like to include more institutions. And for the database, I go back to this. For this base, the hazardous substance database, we also include institutions from Germany all over. So it's planned to do a minimum of 50 institutions. So we have quite a lot of work. But even just to mention that, hearing all the talks yesterday was good when I heard the substances that you have, same substances in focus as DDT, lindan, dillgreen. These are all the substances we are looking for in the project, as well as toxic metals, of course.
Right. Great. Any final questions for Elise? All right. Well, thank you so much for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
We will now have a 15-minute break. Does that sound right, Rosie? Okay, and we'll come back here in 15 minutes for our session on institutional policy.